This is my week 5 reflection on radio dramas. So on the Monday we actually wrote the radio drama from start to finish best we could, and we also started looking at which audiobooks we wanted to use because we had a remote learning session in the afternoon on Tuesday, which was when we actually had to record them. So we tried to decide which audiobook we wanted to use and recreate. I chose Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll because the characters in it have been played in so many different ways and been like animated in so many different ways that there's a lot of different ways that you can like sort of play the characters and what voices to use, and how to distinguish one character from another when you're doing all of them. So that is why I did that one. And in addition to that, it is over 100 years old, so I can use it in a professional setting. On Tuesday we did for radio dramas we were at home due to a meeting or something, so we were learning from home. So I did my audiobook and I ran into a little bit of trouble on it because my editing thing that I have on my iPad was not working at all. So I had to redo my audiobook with backing music, and the way I did it was I found some royalty-free music on Spotify on my phone, and I just had to play it right next to the speaker on my iPad, which is what I was doing my audiobook through, and just video it. So I had started the music after my little introduction, and then I just started reading, and I had to do it a few times to test that the levels were right, so the music wasn't too loud so you couldn't hear me, or I was too loud so you couldn't hear the music. So it took a couple of attempts, but we finally got there with getting the levels right on my music and my voice to make the audiobook sound as I wanted it to. And I got that uploaded, and yeah, that went quite well. I just did the start of the chapter of A Pool of Tears because it was just two voices to start with. It was just the narrators and Alice's, so it was a little bit more, it was easier to try and do rather than do a whole conversation of 2 different characters or 3 different characters, because there is a lot of characters in Alice in Wonderland to try and work with and try and distinguish all the characters of, and I quite simply didn't have the time to figure out how I was going to do every single different voice. So for the narrator I just spoke as I normally would, maybe articulating my words a little bit more, and for Alice I talked a little bit higher pitch and a little bit posher to distinguish that character. It was only a small difference, but I think it is noticeable. And that is it for week 5 reflections on radio dramas.